What's going on, everyone? This is Selkie, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about 3.0, going over all of the official sources, all of the reliable sources, so you can make an educated decision on whether or not you should spend your primos when the Sumeru patch releases. Now, of course, there's going to be a ton of new people getting into Genshin with this huge new update that includes Sumeru, and of course there are the people who watch me who have been playing the game for quite a while. So the opinions on whether or not you should pull that come from me are going to be different based on whether or not you are new to the game or if you've been playing for a while. But hopefully this video will give you some insight into what is going on, because we still don't have an announcement for the live stream yet. Now, I was under the impression that we were going to see it released on Friday the 12th, so 2 days from now at 8 a.m. Eastern time, which is usually when it would be scheduled to release, right before the new patch comes out on August 23rd. But we haven't heard from them yet, and that's a little unusual. But apparently it's been brought to my attention that there is a Chinese holiday coming up on the 12th, which might delay the live stream until the weekend, either the 13th or the 14th. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see about that. But let's talk about everything that we know so far, because we do have a decent amount of information about what's coming to the game. And let's start off with what HoYoverse themselves have given us. So we all know whenever a character gets drip marketed, that means that their banner is going to be released in the next patch. So we basically got Tighnari's splash art, Collei's splash art, and Dori's splash art. Now, if you didn't know, Tighnari in this case is the 5-star. He is a 5-star Dendro bow user. Now, Collei and Dori are 4-star characters, which would mean that they would be running alongside a 5-star character, but not necessarily the new one. Oh, and if you didn't know, Collei is a Dendro bow character as well, and Dori is an Electro Claymore user. Let's get into what we know. Now, this comes from a reliable source. This is Uncle Chasm. If you didn't know, he has basically predicted all of these reruns starting with 2.2 last year up until 2.8, predicting the Yoimiya rerun and the Kazuha rerun. Everything that he has come out with as of now has been accurate. These are, of course, what he is saying now and considered sus because it hasn't been officially announced yet, but he is very reliable. So let's get into what he said is going to happen. And that is his first half of 3.0. So when it gets released on the 23rd, is going to feature Zhongli, a rerun character, and Tighnari, our new 5-star character. And then in the second half of 3.0, we are going to see reruns for both Ganyu and Kokomi. So he ends this tweet saying that there is no phase 3, and this is basically a response to what Lumi, another reliable leaker who always shares banner information, had said, and that is that Tighnari and Collei should be in the first banner, followed up by Dori in the second banner. And then she also tweeted that they told me that there might be a third one, and of course she's referring to a third banner that is basically running back to back with the other two. So 3 banners in one patch, obviously a lot, and we're not talking about ones that run alongside each other here. We're talking back to back to back. She had said that there might be a third one. Chasm is saying that there isn't, but we can take some information from this tweet right here and say that, okay, so this means that Zhongli and Tighnari are going to be the first half, with Collei as the 4-star on their banner. Now, when we talk about Ganyu and Kokomi, that means that Dori is going to be running with them in the second half of 3.0. So unfortunately, we are seeing a new 4-star character being released with reruns, which is obviously not new, but still kind of frustrating to those of us who already have the characters. So let's talk about it. What is going on here? We have Zhongli, Ganyu, and Kokomi coming. Seems kind of random, especially because reruns usually happen when they have story relevance. And that is not the case here. There is no indication that Zhongli, Ganyu, or Kokomi are going to be relevant to the plot in 3.0 or any of the events occurring in it. The reruns are likely strategic for 3.0 newcomers. So this is what I meant before when I said that basically whether or not you decide to spend your primos might be on what your game looks like right now. If you're new to the game, Zhongli is the best shield in the game, Ganyu an incredible DPS, and Kokomi a meta healer. These are going to be great starting characters for someone who is just beginning the game. Now, Kokomi I'm a little hesitant about just because of all of the progress that you need to do to get to Inazuma and eventually level her up, but Ganyu and Zhongli Zhongli, probably not going to have that much of a problem getting them leveled up. So Kokomi is the only one where I'm a little on the fence with, but she is an incredible healer. So if you have been playing the game, these banners might not really seem that desirable to you if you have these characters. If you don't, you know, I mean, when Zhongli and Ganyu rerun last time, it was during the anniversary, of course, saw the introduction to Shenhe, and then another popular character getting a rerun, Xiao, at that time. So there was a lot going on. Maybe you missed them because of that, and now's your time to kind of pick them up. Zhongli has been going in and out of the meta. Ganyu is just incredible, and really, you know, there's not much to be said other than she's a great DPS, but if you don't like bows, then potentially don't go for her. Tighnari has been being called the basically Dendro Ganyu because of his abilities, which we're not going to get into in this video. But let's talk about Tighnari. We're seeing the release of Dendro for the first time. It's the first time that you can get a 5-star Dendro in the game. So should you be pulling for him? And surprisingly, I'm leaning more towards no, that you shouldn't pull for him. And this is why. Uncle Chasm had also said, though I like him, referring to Tighnari, I will give him up and wait until I lose the 50-50, implying that Tighnari is going to be added to the standard banner after his rate up in 3.0. So this means that in 3.1, Tighnari is going to become the new Chi-Chi. We do have a chance of seeing him as the character we lose the 50-50 to, which is very interesting. Now, if you're just pulling on the standard banner, the chances of getting him are gonna be kind of slim, especially because you have to deal with weapons and the other 5-star characters that are on the standard banner. I think that you'd probably see him more when you're pulling for a special character and you lose the 50-50. But regardless, we really haven't seen something like this other than Kuching when the game first came out, and she got a very, very small special banner, even though she is a standard banner character. So it looks like Tighnari is going to have the same fate as her. So should you be wasting your primos on someone that you could potentially get when you lose the 50-50 or on the standard banner? That is going to be up to you to decide. But me personally, as someone who does well in this game, I am really not convinced to pull for him. I'm really not. I lose enough 50-50s to feel a little confident that I'm probably going to get him if this is true. Now, of course, this could be subject to change. Who knows? But this is what is out right now about him being on the standard banner. I imagine, and it would be really messed up if we didn't hear this, but I imagine on the live stream they're going to let us know that he's going to be added to the standard banner, because that would just be so messed up to have him have a banner. People are wasting money on it just to find out later on that he's going to be on the standard banner. That is very important to note. Now, when it comes to Collei, she is also a Dendro character, and I believe we will be getting her for free, so you don't even have to pull on the first half of 3.0. I think she's going to be given to us for free during one of those events. Of course, if you wanted to go for cons for her, that is a different story, but a C0 Collei is going to be free for us. Now, other than that, you also have Dendro Traveler. If you do want to test out Dendro, I know that there's a lot of hype for this. This kind of dulls it down for me to see that like this new character that we're getting is kind of going through this kind of this fate here, but what can you do? And now, other than that, I didn't mention it before, but let's talk about the weapon banner for 3.0 as well. So Hunter's Path is going to be Tighnari's best in slot. It is the new bow for him. This means that we're probably going to see Vortex Vanquisher running alongside the Hunter's Bow in the first half of 3.0. That is Zhongli's quote-unquote best in slot, I guess, but it is the weapon that goes with him. Second half, Ganyu and Kokomi. We can only assume that the donut is going to run alongside Amos' bow. The weapon banners are not looking good in my opinion. That new bow that he has looks really great, but I don't think that I would pull on it. So we'll kind of see what happens there. Now, there's one more thing that I want to talk about. There's apparently a lot going on when 3.0 gets released, and that is there is a new timeline that is going to occur. So 3.0, 3.1, and 3.2 are apparently going to be shortened by 1 week. Very, very interesting. We have no idea like if this is just going to cut both of the banners or if it's just going to cut like last half of one of the banners. We have no idea what it means, just that it's going to be shortened. And of course, when Ayaka had her banner, she was the basically Archon of Eternity. Her banner would not go away. So it looks like Genshin is trying to get back to their old schedule here by shortening the patches by a week. Now, this is very interesting for 3.1 and 3.2. Now, 3.0, I kind of get it. We're basically getting reruns and then a new character who's going to go on the standard. That kind of makes sense. 3.1 and 3.2 are a little shocking because we all know from the trailer that these are the 5-star characters that are basically going to get released next. If we look at 3.1, and this is very interesting, 3.1 is supposed to start when Genshin has its second anniversary. So Genshin's anniversary is the 28th. This would mean that 3.1 would drop on the 27th in my time. We're probably going to be seeing Nilou and Sinnoh come to the banner in 3.1. Does this mean that one of them is going to get shortened? Does it mean that they're basically going to lose out? These are some desirable characters. Nilou's going to be Hydro, Sinnoh Electro. So it's interesting to see their banners being shortened. And then it gets even more sussy with 3.2 because that's supposedly when we're supposed to be seeing the release of the Dendro Archon. So really interesting. One of the things that Spend Your Primos was talking about, this is just like their own little theory. It has nothing to do with leaks, just basically them talking. And one of the things that they had suggested is because this is the anniversary of Genshin, what if they did something wild and actually put two banners together, two new character banners together? Now, this would be the first time that we're seeing this because right now character event wish 2, like, you know, so that would be Zhongli in this case for 3.0, is a rerun character. But what if they change that up for the anniversary and ran Nilou and Sinnoh together in the first half, and then the second half, which maybe the cut would come from to shorten the patch, would be some kind of rerun. Now that could certainly make a lot of sense. The other thing that they talked about is the Genesis Crystal top-up bonus reset, which we have not seen since the release of Raiden Shogun last year when Inazuma came out. So we haven't had one of those in a while. This can certainly be a really great time to hype up new characters, get people excited about spending money by giving us the top-up reset. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically when you get those bonuses back. So after you have like gone through all of the payment tiers in the shop, you kind of lose out on that double bonus. There is still a bonus, but it's not as impactful. Them bringing this back encourages people to spend because you're getting more bang for your buck. So it could be that we see two brand new characters run together in the first half of 3.1 along with that top-up bonus in order to celebrate Genshin's anniversary, which would be very, very interesting. So this is kind of what we know. I mean, I did think that if we were going to get the top-up bonus, it would come in 3.2 with the release of the Dendro Archon, but that of course can change because she isn't expected to release in 3.1 when the anniversary is coming. So it could make sense, but it could also go either way. So we'll kind of see what happens there with all of this, but very interesting. So to get back to it, first half Zhongli, Tighnari, I don't think that unless you really want Zhongli, you really want the best shielder in the game. I think for the most part, especially with the introduction of wolves, we kind of saw Zhongli fall off a bit. Now they're not as prevalent, so he's kind of come back in popularity, but he is the best shielder. Of course, Kokomi is the best healer in the game, so you can kind of like, you know, decide which one is more impactful for your team. Ganyu, if you need that DPS, go for her. Tighnari, you really want to get a jump start on the Dendro 5 stars. Sure, you could go for him, or you could just wait to lose your 50-50 to him. Sure, after a while, we're going to be really sick of seeing him. That's basically what we have so far. For me, personally, this is an easy skip. I have Zhongli, Ganyu, and Kokomi. I do not need to spend money on Tighnari. You know, I want to see how Collei does. I'm very interested in an aggravate team with Electro and Dendro, so I might splurge for her a bit, and if I end up getting him, like, so be it, but I'll kind of see basically where I'm at. I don't really think I'll be using the Traveler too much, just personally don't really like him that much. So that's where my head is at. I think that 3.1 and 3.2 are far more exciting. Kind of interesting how the introduction of Sumeru comes with like not really that much hype in terms of character banners, but of course that's just my opinion. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of all of this. Are you going to be pulling in 3.0 or would you prefer to spend? And what do you think is going to go on with the anniversary? I would love to hear it. And of course, if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more Genshin content, and I will see you in the next one.